Okay, so in this video we're going to show you how you can describe a situation that you've encountered in the home and enter it in the tool in order to receive some ideas about how you may be able to enhance particular situations. What you're able to do is enter the description into the field in front of you. We recommend that you first of all put the number of the residence room, then a full stop, and then you are able to describe the situation that you would like some advice on. In this case, we have a relatively straightforward situation where a resident is not participating in daily social activities and you would like to find new ideas about how to engage them more in these social activities. You simply type in the description of the situation in natural language. There is no need for any keywords or any other reserved words. And when you're ready, you then go and press the blue search button at the bottom. You're then presented with two choices. The Carer app is either able to retrieve cases about residential care from Sky and other sources, or it's able to retrieve cases from other domains. We'll talk about the cases from other domains in another video. In this one, we're going to have a look at retrieving cases about good practice in residential care elsewhere. So we press that button. The app then searches for a set of cases that have been entered by other care staff elsewhere in the sector. And the app is able to retrieve them very quickly using the wireless internet connection connected to your iPod. What you can see is that the app has retrieved a number of cases in the order which it thinks most relevant. So the best fitting case is one called Take a Resident Gardening With You. You can see underneath the name of each case that there are a number of keywords to help you understand the case without having to actually open it. We have another one called Finding Activities That Keep Residents Engaged, and a third one called Using Music to Engage with Unresponsive Residents. Now, all of these may or may not be relevant, but if you find that none of these cases is particularly relevant, you can ask it to load another 3 cases based on what it's found. And we'll do that now for you. So then we have cases number 4, 5 and 6. One is called Refuses Medication, a second is called Continuing Routines, a third is called Large Numbers of Safeguarding Issues. You will notice on the right hand side that there are grey stars next to each case. The stars are there for you to enable to record your favourites. So you can simply record one of your favourite cases by clicking it. So let's, for example, imagine that we are particularly interested in using music to engage with unresponsive residents. We simply click the star and it becomes gold. Likewise, if you want to change your mind, you can click it again and it returns to the grey. So let's go back to the first case that was retrieved at the top. We scroll back up to our past cases of life quality enhancement. And let's have a look at this case of Take a Resident Gardening With You. To open it, you click it and the app takes you to a more detailed description of the case. Each case is normally in 2 paragraphs. The top paragraph describes the situation that that particular carer or member of care staff encountered. The bottom paragraph shows you the resolution that was successfully applied. In this case, we can see that from talking to the lady's relatives, the carers learned that she was a keen gardener and therefore the manager of the care home has decided to pair the resident with one of the care staff who is also a keen gardener and engage her in these kinds of activities. Now at this time, you may read this case and think, that's interesting. I may be able to generate an idea from reading this case. Now in order to do that, you formulate what the case is going to be in your mind, simply press the red button and then record the case, your idea, as soon as you see this recording feature. And once you've finished recording your idea, you press done. You're then able to name the idea. So we'll just call it for the purposes now Gardening Idea 1. Once you've entered a meaningful name for the idea, you press Save and Return. And you can keep repeating this process of recording new ideas based on the case. Now, of course, sometimes reading a lot of text may not be that helpful for you. So we've added another feature in the top right-hand corner called Prompts. And by clicking the Prompts button, the app gives you more specific and concrete advice based on the information recorded in the case. So you can see here next to the light bulbs that the app has suggested two creative ideas that you might want to think about further. The first says, think about how to remove something from the care activities. The next one says, think about how to use harmful outcomes of care work to its advantage. Now, if you're like me, I'm not thinking these are this useful, so let's try experimenting with some more creative care prompts. And to do that, you simply pull down and receive more creative ideas. And this can be repeated several times. The idea recommendation at the bottom is think about how to take the resident gardening together in a small plot at the home estate. And you might think that's an interesting idea. I know how to actually think of more cases. But let's carry on and have a look at more creative prompts to see what's there. Another idea that the tool recommends is think about how to pair the resident with a carer who's a keen gardener. And you may be able to say, yes, I've got an idea here. So we might then want to record an idea based on that. We again press the red Record Idea button, click, and I might want to then record an interesting idea about how we want to pair up the resident with Mr. Smith, who's a keen gardener and comes in to help with the garden of the care home each week. If we want to pause our idea recording as we think about ideas, it's simple just to press the pause button, and that will pause the recording, and then you can restart it again afterwards. So let's record this next idea. Imagine it's done, and we'll call the idea, maybe we'll call it, let's reword it and call it pair the resident with Mr. Smith the gardener. Again, you can call the ideas whatever you wish to make them meaningful for you. And again, we press Save. And we can continue around this loop of exploring cases and ideas as much as we want. Here again, we can see more ideas being generated by the app. Think about how to encourage a range of repetitive tasks such as weeding, planting and smelling. And I'm sure as experienced carers you can gain ideas from these. So let's go back, look at the previous cases and go all the way back and look at the other cases. All we've done so far is explore the top one, which is take a resident gardening with you. I think this is a good case and we shall star it and record it. But we can also look at other cases, perhaps the second one, finding activities that keep residents engaged. Again, by clicking on it, we can find a description of what the carers who entered this case originally in the case base encountered, and by scrolling down to the second paragraph, you can see what they did. And again, we can look at the creative prompts generated by the application. Let's see what the application recommends. It might suggest thinking about how to see which activities were best engaging the resident, or think about how to remember the pastime the next time, since she appeared to repeat them instinctively. Again, lots of tailored, well-designed creative prompts that are emerging from the cases in the app, and you can explore them as much as you wish.